Hello everyone, welcome back. In this video, we are going to learn about the assignment number 12, that is the illustrate the use of the macros. Okay, what exactly the macros are? Macros are nothing but they are just like a functions, right? In C programming and PHP, you might have used the functions. Okay, similar that kind of functions we are having here. Okay, first of all, what we are going to do is we are going to we are going to create the macros, right? To create the macros, what we have to do, we have to open the open office calc, and inside that one go to the tools macros and organize macros and open office basics. Okay, when you click that one, it will ask for the name of the macros. There you have to mention the name of the macros and enter the content of that macros. Content of the macros in the sense some statements will be there, what to do when somebody calls that function. So, okay, step by step we will learn about that one. Okay, first of all, I will try to open the open office calc. Okay, so now I am opening the open office calc. It's opening here. Okay, fine. Now open it. First of all, what we have to do is we have to go to the tools. Inside the tools, you have to go to the macros, organize macros, and open office basics. These are the steps you have to remember. Okay, steps you should always remember, and these steps you have to mention in the answer sheets. Okay, so we should give a name to the macro, right? What we will do is I will open you and show the assignment given here. Okay, what kind of functions we are going to create. See, the first one, macro that returns 5 square. Right, this is the heading, no need to write this one. Okay, we have to write from function to the starting to the end of the function, right? These three lines we have to write inside the macro. So first of all, what we will do, what is the name of the function? Name of the function is POW52, that is power 52. Okay, when we are creating the macro, no, it will ask for the name. Here macro name it is asking. What we have to do is, what is the name you are going to use in this function, no, POW52, the same name you have to mention in the name of the macro name. So I will mention it here, power POW52, right? And I will click on the new button. As soon as I click on the new button, this standard dialog window will open. First of all, what you have to do is you have to select everything and delete from this one. Okay, after deleting you have to write function. What is the name of the function we have created there? The name of the function is here mentioned, POW52, right? The same function name you have to mention, the same function name you have to give as the name of the macro. Okay, so function POW52, and then again you are going to create a variable here. And here one more thing is that the variable name should also be the same as the name of the function, that is POW52. Okay, POW52 is equal to 5 into 5. So what exactly it is doing, that when I mention the POW52, that is the variable name same as the name of the function, no, whatever you will insert in this variable, it is going to return by the function, return to the function which has called it, right? If somebody calls equal to POW52 and brackets, no, automatically the whatever you return here, 5 into 5, 5 into 5 is 25, no, it will return 25 to that cell which has called this function. Okay, now at the end what you have to write is end function. Okay, if you have started the function, you must end the function. I will say this one, save. Okay, after saving I will close it, and now I am going to the sheet here, and click on any cell and write equal to POW52 and opening and closing brackets. Okay, after that one you have to press enter. See, it returned 24. So whatever you write there, no, to return, it will be returned here. Okay, this is the simple macro which is not having any parenthesis, I mean parameters, any parameters. Are we sending anything to that function here? So I'm what I'm writing here, equal to POW52, and inside the bracket am I sending anything inside the bracket? No, I am not sending anything inside the bracket. That's why the bracket is empty here, right? The bracket is empty. It means that we are not sending anything inside this bracket and there is no parameter inside this bracket. Okay, it means this macro does not accept any parameters. It is just we are calling this function, calling this macro, and it is returning some value. So what value it is returning? It is returning the 25. Okay, we will move to the next macro. The first macro, I hope you have understood. What you have to do is you just open that macro and give a name to the macro and enter the content of the macro and call that macro. That's it. Okay. The same thing you have to do for the second macro also. See here we have did something mistake. Instead of pi we should mention pai, because pi is, it is already a function which is inside the macro. We can't create a new function to the function which is already created, right? Pi is a function, it is a macro that is already defined inside the Excel sheet, that is open office calc. It is already defined there, we can't define it again. Okay, how to check whether the function is already created? Just go to any cell, type equal to and type the name of the function, pi is equal to, and press enter. See, it is returning value. If it is returning value, it means that there is a already predefined function is there. So don't try to create any macro with the same name which has been already there. Okay, so what I am going to do, I will not use this pi. Instead of pi I will use pai. Okay, how to do that one? Come to the tools, macros, organize macros, open office basics. Here you have to macro name, give it as pai. Okay, so in the assignment book they have mentioned pi, but we are not going to use that one. You have to mention pai and click on the new button. As soon as you click, it will show the old content. Delete everything from the old content. What you have to write is, you have to write function pai. Okay, so what is the value of the pi? We are, the value of the pi is usually 3.142, right? 3.142. I want to return this one, this value 3.142. Okay, next end function. So what this macro is doing is that first it is defining that there is a function called pi, and here we have defined a variable. This variable is having the same name as the name of the function, and inside this one we are inserting 3.142. so whatever you will insert inside this function, no, it will return that value, this value, right? This value it is going to return whenever somebody calls pai function. Okay, so I will save this one. After saving, I will close this one. From here I am going to call that function. How I will call? Equal to pai and function brackets. So when I press enter, what value it will return? It will return 3.142. It should return. Okay, I am entering. See, it is returning 3.142. So I hope you people understood how to use the macros, right? So similarly we are having another macro. This macro returns the square root of 64. Here we are not going to calculate anything, right? See what this function macro is having. See, function square root 64, but here we are directly giving the value 8. We know that the square root of 64 is 8, that's why we are directly giving it. So no need of anything calculation, just mention the function macro, right? Then give some return value. We know that 64 square root is 8, so write 8 here and it will be returned to the cell which is calling this square root 64 function. Okay, don't take too much heavy on your mind, just follow these steps. Okay, so what we have to do, we have to create a macro with these 3 steps. How I am going to do that one? The same thing, the tools, macros, organize macros, open office basics. Here we have to mention the name sqrt64, sqrt64 and click on the new. Okay, delete the old data, right? Now I am writing function sqrt64 here, right? So inside the sqrt64, what I am inserting, I am inserting the value 8, and I am ending this function, end function. Very easy, right? Now you have to save this one. Follow this step and come here. Here type equal to sqrt64 brackets and press enter. See, it is returning 8 value, right? So understood how to create that one. So what we are doing is we are creating a macro, right? And we are setting it what value it should return, right? Here I have mentioned what value to return, like that we have to mention. And from the excel sheet, here you should call this function, this function, whatever the function you have mentioned, with the equal to sign before the function name, and after that one you can use the brackets, opening and closing brackets. That's it. So whatever these functions are assigned in values, here, that it will return. Now next function is, it is going to add two numbers. So here a little bit extra thing we are going to do. What we are doing is we are creating two variables, variable a and variable b, and inside the variable a we are inserting value 5, and inside the variable b we are inserting the value 10, then adding a and b, and we are returning that value. That is 5 plus 10 is equal to 15. 15 will be returned to somebody who will call that add to function, isn't it? Here also we are not sending any parameters. Okay, simply we are calling that function, something it is written inside, it will be executed and it will return some values, right? So here what we are doing, we are creating two variables. In macros you can create the variable using dim keyword. What is dim? Declare in memory. You can call it as declare in memory. Inside the memory we are creating two variables, that is a, which is an integer, and b, which is also an integer. So we are declaring inside the memory that a is a variable which is an integer, b is a variable which is an integer. Then we are inserting the 5 inside the a, 10 inside the b. Then we are adding both, and we are the whatever the sum is there, no, we are storing inside the add to variable, right? Add to variable is a variable which is name, whose name is same as the name of the function. So somebody calls this function, no, it will, whatever inside this variable, it will be returned. Okay, so we will follow the same thing here. What we are going to do, go to the tools, macros, and organize macros, open office basics. Here what we have to do, we have to write add, one second, not selected, once again I will select it, add to, add to, what add to, add to is a number, right? We are adding two numbers, so the name of the macro we are keeping that one, add to. We are going to delete everything from here. So what I will mention, function add, sorry, n is missing, function add to. Okay, this is a function, right? Here what we are doing, we are declaring inside memory, dim, declare inside memory a as integer. A is a variable which is an integer, similarly b as integer. So what I have did, I have created two variables, right? A as integer and b as integer. Then now what I am going to do is, inside the variable a I am adding 5. Next, inside the variable I will add 10. Okay, so I want to add a and b. So a plus b, where I am going to store what is inside the a plus b, I am going to create a variable called as add to, and add to's variable add to's name is same as the name of the function, right? So whatever you will add here, it will be returned. Next one, end function, end function, that's it. Now save it. After saving, come to the sheet here, open office sheet, equal to add two functions, and press enter. See, it is returning 15, no? Okay, I hope you understood. So till now the four macros what you have created, no, here we are not sending any variable when we are calling this function, right? Just now what I have did, equal to add to, and opening and closing brackets. In the bracket, did we mention anything? Are we passing any values here? No, we are not passing any values. These are a simple macros where no parameters are passed. Some macros, in some macros we are going to pass values inside that one. For example, to add two numbers, we can inside the bracket only we can send. We will learn it in the next macro. Here see, the next macro is add two parameters. Parameters are nothing but some values that we are sending to the macros, right? So from where we are sending? From the excel sheet. Here from this sheet we are sending to this function, and here it is receiving those two values, and it will add those two values and it will return back, right? So here we are adding two numbers, but we are not passed. We here only we have created and we have returned, but in this function we are dynamically taking a new value. Whatever value will be given from the sheet, it will take it. Okay, now we will create that one. How to create that one? Come to the tools, again same steps, tools, macros, organize macros, and open office basic. That's it. Here you have to mention the name of the macro as add to parameter. In custom name also you can give, the name should be same, the macro name should be same as the name of the function. Okay, next click here. I am deleting everything from this one. I am writing once again function add to parameter. Since we are sending two variables, you have to mention. I'm taking the name as x comma y. Okay, variable x and variable y. So what I'm going to do is, now I am going to add these two variables. How to add x plus y? When I say, one second, when I say x plus y, x plus y will be added. Where we are going to store the value, the sum of the x and y? Inside the add to variable, add to parameter. Okay, so whoever will call this function with two values, it will add those two numbers and it will return the sum. So I'm ending this function, end function. Okay, that's it. Okay, after creating this function, we will save and we will close it, and from the excel sheet, from this sheet we are going to call that function. But before that one, we have to create two values. Okay, in a1 I will add 10, and in a2 I will add 20, and in a3 I want the sum of a1 and a2. For that one, what you have to do, you have to write equal to, you have to call that function add two parameter, add two parameter, and inside the bracket you have to mention the first cell a1, semicolon you have to mention, semicolon, remember. Okay, next a2, and press enter. See, you will get the sum. See, what is the difference between the OpenOffice Calc and the LibreOffice Calc? In the LibreOffice Calc, while calling that function, what we are using, equal to add to parameter a1 comma a2, right? We are using a1 comma a2 inside the LibreOffice, but inside the OpenOffice we are not going to use the comma here. Instead of comma we are going to use semicolon. What happens if I use the comma? It will show error, right? Error 508, like this, right? So in OpenOffice, what we have to use, equal to function name, add to parameter, and values a1 semicolon, then a2, then close it, press enter. See, you like this, you will get the output. Okay, so don't forget to add the semicolon here. Okay, that's it about the fifth macro. And the last one, final sixth macro, what we are having, function compare xy. So in this function, in this macro, what we are doing, we are passing two variables inside into a function called as compare parameter. Okay, so what this compare parameter will check, it will check if x is greater than y. If x is greater than y, what it will return, it will return the x, else it return the y. So what it is exactly doing, it is comparing two numbers, whichever the larger is, it is returning that value. Okay, to execute this one, what we have to do, we have to go to the tools, macros, organize macros, open office basics, and here what is the name of that one function, compare. Okay, compare, compare parameters. Okay, click on the new. So here everything we have to delete, and we have to start from the beginning, function compare, and it is taking two values, right? X and y, it is taking two values. So what we are going to do, inside the function we are using if condition, right? If condition we are using, right? What is that if condition? If x is greater than y, we will see the inside this one. If x is greater than y, then return x, else return y. Okay. If x is greater than y, then COMPPAR is equal to x, else COMPPAR is equal to y. That's it, right? So after this one, no, we have to end the if condition, right? Likewise, we are ending the function. No, similarly, we should end if also. Okay, end if, then end the function. End function. You have to remember, whenever you start a function, you have to end the function. Whenever you start a if, you have to end the if, like this. Okay, remember that one. Okay, we have done everything fine. Yeah. Okay, save it. After saving, close it and come to this one. Now a1 is 10, a2 is 20. I want to check which one is larger. So here I will type equal to COMPPAR, compare parameters a1 semicolon a2. Okay, then close. Which one is larger? 20 is larger, no? So yeah, it returned 20. So we exactly executed these macros successfully, and the remaining macros are also similar to that one only. Okay, only what we have to do is we have to remember these things, right? Like dim cell1. Dim cell1 in the sense, declare inside the memory cell1. Name of the variable is cell1, right? Name of the variable is cell2. Name of the variable is sheet, right? Likewise, we are having the functions here. You need to write this function inside the macro and call that function here, right? So if I got time tonight, today evening, I will create the video for 13 also, 13 and 14 also. Okay, have a nice time then. Bye.